So hi, I'm Pina Di Donato. I am so proud of the Turi Trust. In 2011, Turi Foods embarked on a journey which would change the landscape and culture of our business. We never would have imagined when we started the trust what an impact it would have on us individually and as a business. We never would have imagined the support we would have received from our business partners and the wider community. We never would have imagined how much help we could provide for children's charities in our community. At Turi Foods, we believe we have a responsibility to give back to the community that has supported us for the past 40 years. We believe that we need to listen to our workforce and we need to take notice of the causes that are important to them and to their families. We believe that because we're in a position to help, then it's our responsibility to do so. At a recent Turi Trust Committee meeting, we issued all of our members with a challenge. We asked them to go out into the community and to identify a charity which was close to their heart. Specifically, we asked them to find out ways that we as a trust and our employees could engage with the charity. So we went on a road trip with each of our committee members and we visited their nominated charity. We went in and we asked them to tell us about them and to tell us ways that we could help them. So sit back and enjoy, get comfortable, because here are their stories.
Hi, my name's Stephanie and I'm a proud member of the Turi Trust Committee. We're here today at the Diamond Valley Special Development School in Greensborough, and we're going to walk inside and have a little chat to a lovely lady by the name of Ingrid, who's an amazing teacher here. Now, I chose this charity. It's close to home. I know one of the students here by the name of Cooper. Now, Cooper is dependent on a wheelchair, and unfortunately the school is trying to receive funding to create a new playground. At the moment, as you'll see, they don't have anything at all, and there is nothing there for children with disabilities and with wheelchairs. So we're here to have a chat today and see what they need and see if we can help.
You think about it, there's no playgrounds anywhere where if you sat in a wheelchair where you could actually go and access it.
Everybody here, we learnt by taking risks, by failing, by succeeding, by both. So we want places for the students to have well-managed risks where they can learn, experience, explore.
How to do steps.
Exactly.
But anything to do with education and playground equipment is incredibly expensive.
We've got lots of kids that mobilise in wheelchairs, mobilise in their walkers and things. So areas that I would love to see them be able to access all areas of the playground in these mobility equipment. Walk
So
up to different things and ramps and being able to climb into equipment by themselves and crawl up to the sand pit. And
Yes.
that'll be amazing. Yeah.
Look, we have a piece of equipment in mind that would ideally suit Cooper and our wheelchair students, but also more mobile children can access it as well. And it's called a whirly-go-round, and it's like a big, like a merry-go-round, and you can actually put the wheelchairs directly onto it. But that's $37,500 just to purchase, and then there's installation. So that's really huge focus for our kids. We want them to be able to enjoy what regular kids can do.
Hi, I'm Vicky and I'm a proud member of the Turi Trust. Today we're in Craigieburn and we're here to meet Maria and their son, Sammy Joe. We're here in their pavilion, well, Sammy Joe's pavilion, and we really want to get to spend some time with them, get to see them and understand what he's going through and what the family's going through as a whole. We thought it would be important to come and meet them, so let's go meet them and see what they're all about.
My name is Maria Listro, and I have a son called Sammy Joe Listro. He's now 28 years old. He's been suffering his whole life with this very rare condition called trichothiodystrophy. I'm going to get emotional. It's a very hard condition because he's allergic to UV light. And I had to really find the strength to try and find help for him. When he was 4 years old, they didn't know what was wrong with him and they kept thinking that he had chickenpox over and over again. At one stage, they thought that, you know, he was getting burnt by one of us, and none of us smoke. So his lifestyle had to change because he was always trying to hide from the light. So we tried to darken the house, and I kept telling them, I'm sure he's allergic to UV light. I'm positive he's allergic to UV light. And while I was saying this and kind of throwing a bit of a hissy fit to the doctors, one of the doctors came in and said, did you just say your son's allergic to UV light? And I said, yes. His name was Dr. David Amor. So on that day, he actually said, you know, let's take some hair strands off him. I can send it over to America and get it diagnosed. If he has this condition, it's actually a miracle that he's alive, because a lot of these children don't live past the age of 6. And we have to make sure he's always in a darkened room. And that's the best way that you can actually help them to survive. So you can have the proper lighting in your house put in, shutters, tinted windows, and that child can live within that environment. That, you know, for someone that doesn't know about this condition, it looks terrible, you know. So then I thought, I need to do something else. So I thought, I'm going to set up a charity called the Friends of Sammy Joe Foundation, and I'm going to find all these other children and we can help raise money to start changing their lives. But all up now, we've got 64 children in Australia that have this condition. So the mission is to create a better life for these children that live with this condition. And just to help the families with what they need. We haven't been able to raise enough money to even give out $1,000 packages and things like that. So yeah, they didn't feel alone anymore. And since we've started this charity, all they say to me is we don't feel alone anymore.
My name is Christine Aldayev, and I have joined the Turi Trust Committee this year. I've been there for a couple of months now. I am part of the Sydney Baptist Church, and I've chosen the charity called Kids International Ministries. My church has sent a group of people there to help out. I've chosen this charity because of the way it impacts people. It supports the children who are disadvantaged. They have feeding programs, they equip leaders, they do a medical program. It's a fantastic organisation, and they're always looking at ways and improving and helping the community, the Filipino community, and it's close to my heart, and this is why I've chosen it. So now we're going to go inside and meet Karen, Lucas and Nikki, and they will tell us more about the charity.
The Kids International Ministries provides a lot of things like food, where we can go to communities and go for feedings to feed the kids.
It might be the only good meal some of those kids get in a week, and so it's pretty much just sustenance to keep them going, keep them smiling, but the interaction that we can have with them, playing games, that sort of thing is just like they love it. They're bouncing off us and having a great time, and you know we're probably enjoying it just as much as they are. So.
And when you arrive in the community, there's just hundreds of kids come and line up with some have bowls, some of the children that are from poorer homes just have a plastic bag. But once we've done the feeding, we just interact with the children and just spend time with them, really, because they don't get out of their local community at all. Most of them don't have any opportunity to be educated, so they're just stuck in this one place.
Also, there's construction as well that can be done, so we help build houses as well, with a lot of donations provided from other people, like our church donated as well.
And it hasn't just been something that we did, it's for each of us, it's become part of who we are.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're talking about something that we did, we're talking about something that's a part of us now.
Once you go overseas and see a place like that, when you come back you are still helping people on your doorstep.
It doesn't just, you know, it's not about giving people money on the street or anything like that. It does so much for a community, and, you know, a lot more smiles around, you know.
Hi, it's Wayne and Sammy. We're here at Kumbala Park with the Riding Disabled group of folks, and they're busy looking after kids today. And the Riding for the Disabled are primarily volunteers. Well, most of them are volunteers, and so they raise money through different ways, and they need help financially and different ways. So providing all sorts of different opportunities to help, and we just think that we can continue to support them, and there's plenty of opportunities here. There's work that needs to be done around the grounds, and helping people lead horses around. It's really quite a lot that we can do.
People had a little bit of doubt in the beginning of how good it was going to be for Matt, but as time has gone on, we can actually see a huge difference, and it's made a great difference to him physically and mentally. As far as mentally goes, it's actually given him self-esteem and self-worth, and he loves to come to horse riding. He loves the relationship he has with the horse, he loves the relationship he has with the people helping, and he loves the relationship with just the environment, being in a different environment, being out of his wheelchair and being able to have a different view of the world.
As an observation that we have volunteers that come along and want to do something, and we probably don't see them next week because of what we look like out here, and it's not a sort of a snobbish thing. It's just, who are these people that operate off an earthen floor and with this sort of equipment? So we do need to do something about it, and I don't want to let these ladies down, and we just simply need to do it.
I want to talk about Kids Plus. Kids Plus has been in Geelong since 2003. It's a fairly popular Geelong charity. They specialise in therapy for babies, children with neurological disorders, disabilities. The majority of kids who attend Kids Plus have got cerebral palsy, which is a very serious disease, and it requires a lot of support. Currently there's about 120 children across Geelong that are receiving some attention, generally between 0 and 8 years of age. And so 0 is, they're coming in as babies. And they get revenue from a variety of sources, 50% generally from donations from people like us and the Geelong community. And so, it really has a need, and it continues to grow, which is quite interesting. So get assistance from companies like ourselves and from employers like ourselves, where we can give that extra bit of help through volunteering and other support. One of the ways we can help benefit Kids Plus is as more kids come their way, they have greater needs for their facilities to be upgraded. Also, new technologies are coming through, and sometimes these things are expensive. So where we can support Kids Plus is providing services and a support where they can grow the opportunities where they can help more kids. They couldn't survive without philanthropic and community support, because they just don't get that. The parents get some funding, but they don't get enough to do the work that they completely want to do. Supporting Kids Plus for me means that I can give back a little bit to the community, seeing where there are real special needs for folks, and particularly families. Giving back to the families, because they need as much assistance as the children in these charities. And so for me, it means that I can care for someone in perhaps not in a direct way, but in an indirect way that's going to give that family some quality of life. And so, if I can help in some little way like that, then I think that's going to be very important to those kids. And the future's bright if you think about those things.
My name is Jackie Rivas and I work as an accounts receivable assistant at Geelong Golden Farms. When we were given this challenge, this family was the first thing that came into my mind. They are very special and really close to my heart. So this family is called the Smith family. Ronnie is the dad, Sarah the mum, Gemma the eldest, Chloe, and Hunter, and also Shuwei. Shuwei is actually their adopted son from Taiwan, and he was 6 years old when they found him in the orphanage. They've planned to get another child from Taiwan, where Shuwei was originally from, so they can, I guess, talk to each other or have a relationship in a way that they're from the same place. So most people don't have any idea on how much it costs to adopt a child. It costs thousands of dollars and years just to get a child from overseas. I really admire this family for what they do because they have a heart to give and to serve other people. And this way that they're adopting another child is just something that's why I've decided to choose them as my charity. So I asked Sarah why she's adopting another child when she has a family of her own. At the back of my mind, I was like, that's crazy. And then she actually said this: since she was a little girl, she's been wanting to adopt. She believes that children don't belong in the orphanage and every child deserves a family. Because with adopting a child, they'd be giving that child a better future, not just in the orphanage, but having a loving family that that child can call her own.
Hey, hello, my name's Bill Stavridis. I work in the finance department, the head office in Thomastown of Turi Foods. I've been on the Turi Trust Committee for 7 years since its inception and been with the company for nearly 11 years. Coincidentally, it is at the same time that our daughter-in-law entered the family and she's been diagnosed as a celiac along with other members of her family. We now have a grandchild who has also the gene. We're at the front of the offices of the Victorian Tasmania branch of Celiac Australia. We're about to go in and interview the General Manager, Kathy DiBella, and we're going to find out a little bit about what the organisation does, what sort of research it does, how far advanced they are, and what we can do to help them, whether it's with a donation or with our volunteer program that we have. So we'll find that out in the next minute or two.
Celiac disease affects 1 in 70 Australians, but at the moment only 20% of those people are diagnosed. So, and our short-term goal is to get more people diagnosed with celiac disease so they can start that gluten-free diet and get on the road to better long-term health. So currently the only medical treatment for celiac disease is a strict lifelong gluten-free diet. And we're funding research to find this holy grail of a cure. Because as you can imagine, it's quite a burden on people to live a strict gluten-free life, and it's quite expensive, as well as the only treatment is a gluten-free diet. So if you don't follow that, there's a high risk of long-term health complications such as some cancers, liver disease, osteoporosis. So they're quite nasty things, which all can be avoided or the risk minimised if following a strict gluten-free diet. We get no government money whatsoever. We exist with membership, donations and events. Because we're such a small organisation, we've only got very small paid workforce. The rest of our organisation is run by a volunteer army. So anytime anyone wants to help out, that is greatly appreciated. Look, our short-term projects that we really want to do involve children. If you can imagine a child not being able to go to tuck shop with their friends, not being able to have that sausage sizzle at sports day, we need to get education out to the schools. So having that support network who understand why that child can't eat what other people do, or gluten-free bread looks very different to normal bread, so they don't like to feel as though they're different. So getting resources out there like a storybook that's aimed for children that a teacher can talk to the class to help the school friends understand is going to make a huge difference to a lot of children.
My name is Praniduro Uyai. I work at Turi Foods as a veterinarian. I have been with Turi Foods for 4 years now. In Turi Foods, I got interested in the Turi Trust, and because as a person I have passion for helping others. I originally come from South Sudan. We migrated, my wife, about 17 years ago, and like so many South Sudanese people, we came to Australia as political refugees. As South Sudanese, we come from a country that actually has got the longest river in the world, which is the River Nile. And this organization that I actually become involved with has been named after the River Nile, and it is called River Nile Relief and Support Group. With that come so many challenges that many of the migrants that came from my background of South Sudanese, they came as single mothers. And because of that, some of them would have teenagers that they brought with them, and always they have been faced with difficulty of language, difficulty of bringing up children in one parent situation. And as these children get faced with the cultural shock of coming in a new country, language difficulties, they run into a lot of problems. So they become very bored, they can't continue their education, and they end up in streets and become a source of trouble to the wider Australian community, and also trouble to their own community of origin in a way. So we started to form a small group of soccer teams, and then we started to also make some competitions. And the main aim was actually to try and pull these youngsters from the streets and use their energy in a more positive way. So the passion has moved into actually helping with education, and this is now the core area of our activities as an organization. We have identified that causing those youngsters difficulties to actually further their education, and one of them is English, the other one is mathematics. And we want to aspire those kids that education is the best option for them to actually drive their future in a positive way.
Hello everybody, I'm Mark Mills. I'm an account manager with Turi Foods and also a Turi Trust committee member. I'm here today at Kids Undercover to meet with Kerry and get an understanding of exactly what Kids Undercover do. I've chosen this charity because I feel that with the crisis we have around the place with young people and youth, that I think they do a tremendous job from what I've read on the website. And I'll be meeting with Kerry very shortly, and hopefully she'll be able to give us a real good insight into how they operate.
Kids Undercover work in the youth homelessness prevention space, so we do everything we can to ensure young people who are at risk of homelessness are given everything they need to ensure that that doesn't happen. We started it back in 1989, where we were building homes for young people who were homeless, and over the years our model has evolved somewhat since then to much more of a prevention model. So when a young person in a family is either not coming home every night or talking about leaving home prematurely, primarily due to overcrowding in the family home, then we're able to provide a little bit of extra space so that the family can continue to function, the young person can stay home and connected to the family, and yet have that little bit of extra space that they need through those critical teenage years, so that they can have a bit of headspace, they can get away from whatever the chaos is that's going on in the family home, to just allow them to breathe, do their homework, have a bit of quiet time. Once a young person is in a studio, we offer them a scholarship, and we offer that critically to every young person in that household. And the scholarships are not academically assessed. They're really about empowering young people to pursue their educational dreams. If they have a desire to continue or re-engage with education, then we will provide the financial assistance they need to do that. And a scholarship costs anywhere between $800 and $1,200, depending on what the young person needs. So they may need a laptop to finish high school, they may need a toolkit to help them start their trade. Whatever it is that they need, we will provide the funding that they need to just encourage them to take up that opportunity. We're pretty proud that last year we built, I think, around about 71 studios, which is huge. But unfortunately, we have a wait list of around 40 families who have applied for studios that we haven't been able to fund this year. So our biggest challenge is moving into the new year and every year, trying to grow our fundraising, trying to grow the amount of support that we get, the number of supporters that can help us to build more studios. Yeah, it's wonderful to meet young people that, you know, I've been here since 2009, working at Kids Undercover, and to meet some of the kids that were first coming into our studio program back then and talk to them now is heartwarming, and they're coming back now as positive, contributing members of community with great jobs and you know, wonderful, I guess, goals for their lives, thinking about buying their own homes and things like that. It's really heartwarming.